Hi, this is Wishop, and this is your weekly reading for Monday, April 27th through Sunday, May 3rd. I realize we're almost to the end of Monday, and I appreciate your patience because I just couldn't get this done, and I was afraid if I didn't do it now, it would never happen. So here are 3 tarot cards for the week, and first I'll do the I Ching and a little bit of astrology, but I wanted to point out, because I don't usually do this, but I sort of needed to stand the cards up. I have 3 crystals. So I have ruby and fuschite. I have lapis lazuli, or lazuli, depending on how you say it. And I have a little green fluorite here. So I tend to read the cards as a whole package in combination. But if you'd like to pick one of the crystals, then you may see which card's influence is going to be more important for you during the week. So just in case you think that's fun, if none particularly appeals to you, or maybe they all do, then great. So I rolled the dice for the I Ching for the week, and I got water over lake, and we have had this before. That number is 60, called limitation or regulation. So maybe you will recognize this beautiful and serene Buddha. It's very telling that we have water over water this week. And that's why self-discipline and self-respect and introspection are being called for, right? We've got this emotional content, but also when you're dealing with water, you're dealing with hidden elements. You're dealing with sacred wisdom. You're dealing with human intelligence, so to speak. So being quiet and receptive to that, and trying to be mature about emotional swings is really gonna profit you. And let me explain the astrology for the week, and you'll see it's very much reinforcing this idea. So I had to just toss it on a little post-it. So here we go. Hopefully you can see this. So the moon is currently in Leo as of today, Monday. But on Wednesday, it's going to move to Virgo. And then on Friday, it's going to move to Libra. Well, Virgo is a mutable sign, practical, good with money, but very adaptable. Libra is the great diplomat. So very much weighing the options, right? So your moon, your emotional state, is going to go from the expansive Leo, which has been great for getting things done, like planning and spring cleaning and kind of strategizing and stepping out and conceiving new identities and goals for ourselves. And it's going to go into some a more practical sign, and also a sign that's a little more introspective in general. Mercury is going to move from Taurus, which is sensual but determined, very very much making things happen. And the Sun and Mars have been with it in Taurus. At the end of the week, Mercury is going to move to Gemini, which is a much chattier, more social sign. And so when we get the moon to Libra and we get Mercury to Gemini at the end of the week, it's not going to be about pushing ahead. It's going to be about talking to people and weighing options and, socializing and getting counsel from people, or at least listening to their opinions and hearing their sides of things. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you have issues that need to be dealt with, or conversations that you need to have, whether in the realm of love or money, wait till the end of the week, because it's going to be a lot easier to have those conversations in a really compassionate way when Mercury, the planet of communication, moves out of Taurus. Because while it's in Taurus, bolstered by Mars and the Sun, if you need to ask questions or bring up problems, either a long-standing issue that you're still trying to take care of with spring cleaning, or it could be something about your new ventures and you really want to get started on the right foot, Taurus can make the way you communicate that a little too insistent. So if you're involved in things that are collaborative, or you're trying to get a feel for what other people are going to think about your notions, what you're going to want to do is wait till the end of the week. Your communication skills will be highly empathetic and social, and I think you'll probably get a better response on that. Near the end of May, Mercury is going to go retrograde. So if you have a lot of communications that you need to get done, you actually have a flurry of emails to send, you have a lot of travel planning to do. And with Mercury moving to Gemini, short-term or short distance travel is really favored, and things like if you want to do research or you're writing a lot of stuff, this is a great time to do it, and just get that stuff done while you're feeling inspired before the end of May. So let's go on to the random tarot cards. Okay, let's see if I can turn these over without knocking everything down. Really might happen. Hello. Okay, here's the Emperor in reverse. Let me turn this so carefully. See, I'm in another one of these temporary setups and I'm very worried. Nine of Wands. Okay, terrific. Okay. The High Priestess in reverse. Now that is interesting. Okay. When I see the Emperor in reverse, and I should point out, this is the Shadowscapes Tarot by Stephanie Puimun Law. So hopefully, let me see if I can hold this so you can see this. And actually, I should hold it this way so you can see this handsome fellow. So this Emperor is really the boss, right? And he's in command. And the Emperor is usually tied to, fire and to Aries and getting things done and commanding. And this is saying this week is not the week to try to command, to try to be the boss, to try to run things like a military campaign. This probably isn't the week that's going to work. What's interesting too is that this week we have the Nine of Wands. And I think of the Nine of Wands quite often because, a lot of times this will be seen as a card of vigilance. You'll have all these wands. You can see this row of wands, or maybe you can if I hold this here. Do you see this is like a little company of soldiers with their wands, and they're forming sort of a barricade or a line against something. They're sort of standing guard, and that's one of the things which is thought of, that you need vigilance. But one of the things that I always think of with this card is endurance, because really to stand watch and to keep standing watch requires a lot of endurance. And often, because it's the Nine of Wands and we're finishing a cycle, the Nine of Wands, obviously Wands is fiery, passionate, inspirational kind of energy. And when you get to the 9, you're nearing the end of the cycle. Some people even consider 9 the end of the cycle rather than 10. So what it means is you're right near the finish line, or you're right near some important milestone, but things may not seem that easy. How many things have you given up right before the end? I mean, I don't know about you, but I have done that more than a few times, near the finish line, and that's when you give up. So as they say, don't quit before the miracle. And this may indicate that there's some passion of yours. It may be a new passion you've picked up this year, or it may be a long-standing project that you're trying to complete. Don't give up before the end. Sort of stand tall and just keep working quietly. This is a week for just, toiling away and getting it done. The High Priestess in reverse is interesting, because with all this watery energy, I really think that things like the kind of intelligence and receptive understanding that the High Priestess embodies are very much favored. But if we look at this High Priestess, she's sort of a wilder figure. She's not like the Rider-Waite-Smith sort of very serene, very fixed, very placid, very still sort of figure. This figure is incredibly lively. She's in motion. And there's stuff flying off her. And of course, the wise owl is flying underneath her too. And I think that what it's saying is, in reverse, is that you might not have a lot of clarity this week. So what you might be doing is gathering information rather than making final decisions. So this will be a good time to gather a lot of things together, gather all those feathers, gather all those notions. But now's not the time to try to take flight with them. You know what I mean? So I know that's not a very watery metaphor, but that's sort of how it seems to me. Like, be ready, especially with the moon drifting into Libra, to feel a little bit of indecision. And Gemini is a little bit of an indecisive sign too, and that's okay. Just open up your faculties, gather what you can gather, and realize that all of this stuff is going to crystallize for you. And all of the things that you've learned and the little tidbits that you've gathered while you're being this social magpie, all of these little things are going to come together in ways that are very good for you. So I did grab an oracle card, and this is from the Eyes of the Soul Oracle by Cheryl Yambrack Rose. I picked it because it's such a blue kind of a deck, and with all this water, I thought it would be kind of nice. So here's the card, and let's see what it is. Oh, look at that. The Welsh Fairy Glen. So the back, the Fairy Glen is exactly the same as the front in this case. We got the title card, or the title cut, so to speak. And it says, be curious, look deeper. I think that perfectly embodies the spirit of the week. Gemini is a very curious kind of sign. And with this watery energy, you're ready to research, to ask questions, and you'll ask them in such a charming way. Probably, especially later in the week, you'll ask them in such a charming way that you'll get lots of good, useful answers from people who will be happy to tell you all the kinds of things that you need to know. So take this opportunity to be a little information gatherer, to make sure that you don't feel forced into activity, that you take this information and take time to really sit with yourself in quietness like this and sort of digest what it all means. And don't feel that the fact that your emotions are a little open and sensitive right now is a problem. It's actually great. It's the way that you're going to connect with people and really forge those bonds that help make them want to assist you. So be like the lotus, be open, and I think you'll probably get a lot out of it. Anyway, have a fantastic week. I want you to rock on in quietude and beauty, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.